Hey, muy buenos días, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. And as always, muchísimas gracias to everyone for your guys' words, prayers, wishes, and just everything in general you guys express my way. Thank you. Now, to get into the story at hand, today I want to talk about a short power struggle, or should I say, someone's greed, right? That he went over his boundaries, or reach, should I say, and how the Ayala brothers eventually came in and they told Chato to tell Homeboy que se las cortara, to kick back for reasons that I already told in the story, later on about the Ayala Chatos and that area, right? The whole Puerto Verde issue, you could say, and how well, he went out, you would say, backwards on what he had said, just to blend in, if you want to say that. But in reality, he's a money man, right? So he goes where he sees it grow or flow. Not when it's stale due to somebody's habit, which unfortunately it was Widow's doings, right? But anyways, at this time, Toro had just been sent to the feds, and Weddle had been given a lot of his territory, right? Out of respect for his brother from the area, I guess. And well, for those that don't know, Toro had a lot of influence when it came to Verdugo, right? Had a lot of people, and it's what I talk about a lot, right? It's basically they're always on each other, right? They're waiting on that opening for them to start politicking against him, and of course, take over their land and start putting money in their pocket. In this case, Big D had a camarada. He had two of them, but when it came to the camarada on the road, I don't know much about, right? So I'll let them from speaking about him. But Scrappy was up there, right, from Fontana, he was one of these, right hand man, if you want to say it like that. So again, when it's just common sense, right? Weather wasn't, you would say, getting kicked off, right? And Toro just lays all this bunch of responsibility on him, you know, that they got the greed's gonna come in and they look at that as weakness, and they looked at that as a possibility to take, right? And for those that have been around Huffle, he had his hands in a lot of different pipelines to make it feria, right? And anyways, D seemed fit that he was to take over, certain parts where it should not be there, or his influence should not be there. You know, T was one thing, but where it's a whole different thing. I guess antiquity talked, or more so, I think it had to do with wiggle room with people, right? Stretch. And a big power struggle started happening when it came to the hermano Hernandez up in the road and David Soldados. When it came more into play was in Riverside County. There's been a couple, of chingar casitas or clipping houses, right? that really in reality were not still in full possession of Güero. They were still replying to T, right? And it was done, snake way, right? Send camaradas, go ahead, lay him down and take whatever was in there and blame someone else, La bolita game, right? Él fue, all that it was him, it was him trying to trip, right? And, a lot of people started getting hit. The first one I heard of was Gremlin, that he was this soldado, right? And T had him hit, I guess when he went back to court to county, and he was on that lista from T, because again, T had a lot of reach. It didn't matter if he was in the feds, And my personal doings with T, he wasn't going to put all this on Güero and just say, I'm washing my hands with this and I'm moving on. So of course, he was supporting at first, right? And anyways, he got hit. And then Baya, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was from Colton, right? Then he got hit by Davis people. And it went back and forth that so, right? Even though that D was up there in the Bay, he held in real high regards when it came to Hector and Ronnie, right? The Ayalas and Chato for, I guess, their backtrack, right? Being together in certain spots. And, at this time, it was surprised that they would even step in, right? But, they did. Basically told D to step down, right? That it was terreno sagrado, right? Because it belonged to T. And matter who he had in front, which, again, it was Verde, right? And at the time, it was that quick, to the sense that when T tried to do his snake thing, right, and try to do things behind the scene, Chato spoke up and said, te aplacas, or so D slowed down, and now, with the current power struggle that was out there, and the ending of Güero Verde, and who pressed that issue to get that land, makes a lot of sense. Because in that area, which, T went to that extent and ally himself with them, knowing for years they've been wanting to get up in there, right? And in reality, they're there, as you could say a mess. But it's just, I wanted to put this short story out there, mainly to enlighten on how, sometimes they tend to do things that they make a camarada think, right? And they're sticking up for the safety of homies because they're getting hit over greed, over in reality, a member trying to step on another member's toes. And one not botching, right? Because I guess he feels he's not going to get pushed out, right? His word has to be respected on who he left there, which that's understandable. But you see how it circles back around. It's a chess game that years later, the true intentions came out. But what I want to focus on this is, if we really pinpoint, D tried to move on TORO and on Güero, right? If you want to say that. TORO was a factor, though. And in the midst of it, camaradas got hit, and removed. And at the end of the day, they intervened, right? Other pilis and told him slow your roll. So everybody said, alright, I disculpa, and press forward. No type of repercussions when it came to politicking against each other, right? Or removing camaradas for following orders. It was a tricky situation when you go up in there and a Billy tells you, hey, boot up and, you know, boogie, mambo, vámonos, handle business here. You follow rules to the dot of what he's requesting. And then he backs up and says, oh, I dispensa. Oh, but you can't come back no more. You got holes put in you. It's that easy, right? But again, it turned out to nothing. But camaradas losing their career, right? It's all a chess game, I guess. When we were up there in Pelican Bay, it just had something to do, right? Needed something to do, excuse me. And going to store, very little, but still need more, right? The point to step on gente that are loyal. And you can dictate from his actions, right? That he's a greedy tyrant of what he's doing right now with camaradas, right? Because se ven form a kick down to the kitty. As when I was running Jardines, the Cora, right? To somebody waiting on you and getting with an open back and saying, I want 30% kick, or, you know. So what would you guys call that? That's why I always come on and tell everybody. I mean, those that are not there, that are not on their way there, right? For those that are, just buck up, you know. But for those that have time, man, don't put yourself to them heartaches. You know, stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. Please excuse me, I want to make this one short. I had a terrible night, but you guys know why, you know, and I just want to put something out. I send my love, my prayers. Muy buenas noches.